Wow, I'm just realizing how crazy my hair looks. If you're a curly hair girl, you know there are days you look amazing and there are days where nothing's gonna save you. Today is one of those days. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Easily Knitfluenced and my name is Michelle. I'm trying something a little new today. So this is a favorites and fails video just of patterns that I have seen in the last month. And this is things that I've collected mostly from Instagram and other social media. So some of these are new patterns. Some of them are patterns that have not yet been released. And others are patterns that just happened to cross my feed. So these are just my collected thoughts for the month. So I thought I would try this kind of video really to talk about things that drew my eye and then things that, I think are a bit of a miss, that I'm not that interested in. So those are the fails. I only have one fail this month. So if you want to hear about that, stay to the end of the video. It'll be there. But I'm going to start with the positive stuff and the things that I like. So let's get started. I've got my laptop here. I've also got my phone because there's some things that aren't even on Ravelry yet. So the first thing that is on Ravelry, which is hot off the press, in fact, I think it released today, I'm filming this on September 25th, is the Facet sweater by Knit or Lena Holm Samso. I saw the first promo pictures for this, I think when it was still in testing. You guys, I just finished the terracotta sweater, a week ago, and I'm already itching to cast this on. This is beautiful. And I like this because this is I feel like this could be a very Christmassy sweater without being in your face, screaming Christmas. So the pictures she has on Ravelry are of a couple of different colorways. One is sort of similar toned reds, which is beautiful. The other one is more of a contrasting brown and blue. But I'll put in a picture of the picture I saw on Instagram, which was kind of a colorful mix of everything. And it gave me such strong Christmas vibes. So I'm all over this. It's beautiful. Some stats about this. It's a DK weight pattern, like a lot of the stuff that she puts out. 22 stitch gauge. And she is using, at least in the samples, looks like the suggested yarn is Sadness Garn Silk Mohair with the Sunday, or Pecan. So that is a pretty typical combination. You could pair any fingering with any fingering weight and mohair for this. I think that would work really well. So yeah, this is beautiful. It's gorgeous. As soon as she released it, I was like, oh my God. And I'm glad she did this because she also released a colorwork sweater called the Rose or Rosy sweater. And that just wasn't really my vibe. I don't know. I'm like, floral is a really weird area for me. I love flowers and I love gardening. I find floral motifs quite difficult to wear and pair with things. And that one was just a bit too like rose forward for me. Anyway, the Facet, gorgeous. Love, 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 love. Can't say enough good things about this. Next up, this is the Upstream sweater by Alice Hoyle, or Rose Knitwear, as she's better known. This is a fun texture sweater. And, I don't know what it is exactly about this. I think it's meant to be, obviously given the name, I think it's supposed to kind of evoke water, but actually looking at especially at this picture of the sleeve here, to me it says a lot, it kind of leans a lot more bamboo. Actually, it reminds me of the shape of bamboo, and I love both. Aran weight, so I think should be a really nice quick knit, and just a really fun one. I'm really all over the texture lately. Texture and color work is what is absolutely drawing my eye, as you will see from this collection. It's all texture and color work. It's super cute. So I've never knit anything by Rose Knitwear, but I know what's her name? Woozy by Celine. She's a big fan, and apparently she has really interesting, kind of funky designs. So I feel like this is a nice entree into her portfolio. It's not too out there, but it's got enough interest that I think it could be something different in it, something bit of a palette cleanser, something new and fun and interesting. Now here's one that I've seen all over Instagram, but I don't really see talked about much. This is the Butterscotch sweater adult version from Nash Knits, who I follow on Instagram, and I'll link all the Ravelry pages that are available. I will link them below. This is so cool, and I, having done the color work sweater now from knit, the terracotta, which was a mixture of color work and then texture panels. This is really calling to me because, again, it's got that paneling, which I think, at least for me, makes for a much more engaging knit. And while I don't mind a stockinette project, it does make me really hunger for the next step, right? You're like, I want to get to the next pattern, the next panel, and the next pattern. And it's a very cool sweater. I like the blue. I would probably do this, given that we're in the fall season, maybe in kind of a more autumnal color, potentially. But really, any color here would work fine. I think you could even go kind of a little bit subtle monochrome and do, say, the cream and like a very light brown, I think could look really nice for this. This is also, says it's an Aran weight, which I don't know if that can be true. 22 stitches, though, in an Aran weight. Interesting. Well, in any case, it is a typical top-down drop shoulder pattern. You guys know I love those. And it's just calling to me. This just looks really fun. I've never knit anything by Nash Knits, but if you check them out on Instagram, they have a ton of really cute and interesting patterns, also for kids. So if you like their stuff and you like knitting things for kids, I think this could be a good designer to follow. All right, guys, I just finished the Lacy loop tee. Now we have the Lacy loop roll neck. I can understand some people would say, this is just, you're just capitalizing on that same pattern. You're releasing a different pattern that we need to buy for just a turtleneck and some longer sleeves. I hear you. I hear you on that, but I loved that top so much. I mean, it was such an enjoyable knit. I love wearing it. The design is great. It was fast to knit because of the lace pattern, so I feel like it really flew off the needles. And then this one is going to be hopefully even faster because it is a worsted weight. And one of the suggested yarns is the Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino, which I love. It's a yarn that really agrees with me. Now, it is a turtleneck. I don't love turtlenecks, but, I don't love turtlenecks, but for this one, I feel like I'm ready to be hurt again. It just looks so cool. I love this. It's so cool. And I just had such a fun time knitting that pattern. So I would happily knit that again. I really like this. I think just a fun fall sweater, not too heavy because it's got the lace, but it's still substantial enough that you're not going to be freezing when you go out in the fall. Oh, love it. Other loops has just got my heart these days. Speaking of other loops, now I could not find any information. I'm looking at my phone now because it's not on Ravelry. I couldn't find any information on this pattern on Ravelry, but I saw a post by Jonna Who with this picture in it saying, I'm super excited about this upcoming book of ours. A couple weeks ago, we spent a few days in the archipelago surrounded by sea and sky, blah, 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 blah. And the knits, this pullover by Other Loops, modeled by the model's handle, is just one glimpse of what's to come. And I can't wait to find out what's to come, because look at this. This is so fun. I find this really beautiful. It does look like, it's a raglan. I was going to say it's a round yoke. It's not a round yoke. I think it's a raglan. Beautiful color work all over, and then that motif on the sleeves and the bottom of the hem at the bottom of the sweater. Oh, I am very curious about what's to come, Jonna Who, so stay tuned. And once I find out, I will tell you guys as well. But I haven't seen this picture anywhere, including on Other Loops page and Ravelry and so on. So this must be some, so far, secret publication with, I don't know, a magazine, a book, or something. But, whew, so pretty. It's so pretty. And I love her as a designer. I think she writes very clear, concise designs. I've never had an issue with one of her patterns. So, oh yeah, I'm all over this, baby. Okay, sticking with the theme of Instagram. Okay, this pattern is on Ravelry. This is the Haraboji cardigan by Aegyo Knit. Big designer, Danish, I believe. I want to say she's Danish. And I've always liked this. I thought it was a very pretty pattern. But then I saw this picture by A Knitter's Archive, who I follow on Instagram, who has done the sleeves in a different, kind of the braid pattern on the sleeve is done in a different color and a different yarn. And actually the post is all about how she didn't like the color combination, so she's about to frog this, which I'm like, no, don't do it. But I love this idea in particular. So this is already a cool pattern, but if you can make this work to do just that stripe in a different yarn, something really out there, I feel like this pattern could really, really pop. So kudos to this person for thinking that up, because I never would have dreamed of it, but I think it looks gorgeous. Too bad this version has already probably been frogged, but this might be an idea that I shamelessly plagiarize one day, because wow, how stunning is this? I'm so impressed. I think it's gorgeous. All right, here's one actually by a Japanese designer. This is the Valo by Rui Yamamuro. And I don't think the pictures on Ravelry do it justice. I will link that, of course, but the ones he put on his, I think it's a, is it a he? I'm actually not sure. They. I'm going to go with the safe they. The pictures they put up on Instagram, oh, another one, just like the Facet. I saw it and I was like, save, 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 save. Like, I need to talk about this on the channel, because look at this. This is the texture, the kind of the different levels of ribbing, the drape of this. Look, and then here's, I'll put in a picture of the back. I mean, look at that. And yes, I know in New York, by the time I would ever get this made, I'm already probably past the season where I would wear this. I don't care. I'm thinking about spring next year or summer, whatever. This is absolutely beautiful. And I can't actually see on here. I'm going to see if I can figure out what exactly he knit this, or they knit this out of. It looks, because I want that drape, that particular drape, which this garment has. And so the yarn was Woolfolk Tinned, fingering weight, which, yeah, I knew there was going to be a catch to this. It can't be beautiful and easy to make. So it's 30 stitches. Woolfolk Tinned, not one I've used before, but let's see. It's 100% merino. Looks really pretty. Love to try it. Yep, classic fingering weight. So I think you could sub this for Knitting for Olive if that's available to you, or Stennis Garn, or any of the other fingering weights. But yeah, this drape is real pretty. And again, I will say the pictures on Ravelry do not do it justice. Check out the ones on Instagram, because they are beautiful. And you get a much better sense of the texture, I think, because it's taken in shadow. So you can really see those different levels of ribbing and what's been done on the texture. Gorgeous. More color work. This is the Checkmate sweater by Skabagtig. Sorry if I've butchered that. Bulky weight, 17 stitch gauge, and looks like you need to buy this from their website, and they are a Danish designer. But again, I just love this. This is it's giving me a little bit of what the Facet is giving, but again, that chessboard sort of vibe. So a little bit different, but again, it's all over color work. I love it. I think it's so cool. Really beautiful. And again, I can picture this in a very autumnal color. I could picture this monochrome. I feel like you could really do a lot with this. Although I love the blue and cream or white that they've put on the website. I think that's also really pretty and very versatile, very wearable. But you could go nuts with this. You could do neons, you could do neutrals. Beautiful. Love it. Another Japanese designer. Here we have the Pecan Pie sweater by Hello Higa Life. So this is a DK weight project, 20 stitch gauge, and it's all over texture, patterns, and cables. Now, I think the pictures of this are really appropriate because, yes, I look at it and I do think of a pecan pie. I think it's lovely. So there's a big panel of moss stitch in the middle, and then you've got kind of cables on either side. But what I love about this, and if you zoom in, you'll be able to see it, the collar and the hems are also done in kind of textured cable and rib. Never seen that before, but I love it. I also love that collar is not a full turtleneck, but kind of not a cowl neck either. Sort of a half turtle, but not, it looks quite structured, which I like. I think that's a really good look without being kind of suffocatingly up in your chin. And I think with this detail on the collar, very crisp, very beautiful. Yeah, this is another designer I love. I think this is the one who also did the wrap over scarf, which I'm now forgetting the name of, but I'll post a picture. You guys will have seen it. I think it's the double knit scarf, where it's a short scarf that you can kind of insert one end of itself into. So really interesting and kind of clever designs by this designer. If you haven't checked them out yet, you guys should. Here's another designer that I personally have never heard of. This is the City Basket Balaclava by Ingen Birkeland. This is so cool. This is grandma cottagecore, and I am here for it. And again, the sample pictures are very fun, very cool. I think this is a great one for scrap yarn, obviously, if you've got odds and ends lying around. But again, I feel like you could make this very holidays, very Christmas if you wanted to, without it being too in your face, right? You could get some reds, some greens, white, and have that be a really cute winter accessory without, you know, having holly leaves all over it and Christmas trees and so on. I think this could be very versatile. But me personally, I'm in my blues and greens era at the moment, despite the red shirt I'm wearing. I'm loving blues and greens in terms of yarn, so I could see this as a tonal blues and greens. But really, I mean, any scrap yarn I feel like could work really well for this. And there's one, if you scroll down in the pictures, there's a pink version. There's one that's blues, greens, and purples. So yeah, kind of the world is your oyster with this. I feel like you could do whatever you want with it. And it is a fingering weight. So again, you know, pretty easy to have little scraps of fingering, I feel like. You probably have a bunch of those, you know, if you're honest. If I'm honest with myself, I have a lot of fingering weight that's just lying around. So you could absolutely use that for this. And I love it. I saw this on Instagram and I was like, oh, it's so cute. It's so cute and it looks cozy. In fact, it does look a little bit like a tea cozy, and I love that. I love that for this season. So there we go. That's a beautiful accessory. Okay, here's a really cute one, and I don't know if I'll make this because it is a round yoke, so I'm just scared of round yokes, but this was posted on Illimani's page, which is a yarn brand that I've knit from before. This is the Fiona sweater by Vicky Chan. If you're a cat lover, and of course I'm a crazy cat lady, how adorable is this? It's so cute. And I think she used she used an Illimani yarn, hence why they are hence why they're marketing it here. But let's see, I think it doesn't actually give any more details. It just says Fiona sweater by Vicky Chan to be released soon. So I'll watch her page on Ravelry. If I do find the link after this video goes up, I'll update the description, but it's not there yet. So TBD, but this is adorable. I think it's so cute. Okay, now we're at the part of the video where I talk about the one fail for this month, or, you know, just the pattern that didn't really do it for me, and that is the Ravelry blouse by Petiteknit. I don't know what it is about this. It's really just not it for me. I think it's because this, like, I don't necessarily object to the closure of, you know, a blouse being diagonal. I just think, at least in the pictures she's posted, it's just not buttoned enough, at least for me. And this is a garment, again, where, you know, I just feel like I wouldn't find a good way to ever wear this, because I don't mind my bra showing necessarily, but I want it to look intentional. So I have sheer t-shirts, for example, that I wear, and, you know, you can pretty much see my bra through it, but I mean for that to show. This looks like, if I were to put this on, like it's kind of showing, you know, despite my best efforts, I guess, if that makes any sense. Like, it looks like it should be closing more, but it's getting stretched out. You know, like when you're wearing a regular blouse that's a little too tight and you've got the little, like, the gap that's coming out in the middle here, that's what it looks like, but a diagonal version. And I don't know, I'm just not feeling it. And yeah, the boat neck in combination with that too, and I like a boat neck normally, so I don't know what it is. I think it's just like a lot of harsh lines. Like there's a line across here, and then there's a line coming from one corner of that boat neck across your body as well, and then there's the buttons that are kind of gaping. And listen, she looks tiny, so I'm like, if it's looking that way on her, it's obviously designed to be that way, so I don't even know what it's going to look like on me. I just don't love it. Listen, I love a lot of Petiteknit stuff. This is just a bit of a miss for me. But that's it for this month's favorites and fails. If you guys like this, let me know. I'll keep doing it. I kind of collect patterns anyway, so I thought, oh, maybe I'll make this a monthly thing and, you know, see how it resonates on the channel. So any feedback is welcome. Please put it down in the description below. Like I said, I will link the patterns that are available now in the description box. I'm still having issues with bundles on Ravelry. I don't know if anyone else is having this problem, but anytime I get a link for a bundle, it takes people to kind of a corrupted page warning. So for now, I'm just going to link the individual patterns. You guys can pick whichever ones you like. And then, yes, as things get released, I will come back and update the video if these patterns are released and they're not there today when I'll be editing this. But thank you, as always, for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye for now.